I was standing in the presidential suite at Crystal Heights Hotel, holding a wedding ring that cost me 3 months of salary, checking my watch. 6 hours. 6 hours until I would say I do to the woman I thought was my everything. But 6 hours before those vows, I heard her laugh coming from a room down the hall. Not her normal laugh. The kind of laugh that is intimate, private, meant for someone else. I opened that door and saw my entire future shatter in slow motion. She looked at me without panic and said those words I will never forget. Relax, it was just physical. That moment I knew our wedding was not happening, but 6 months later I would show up at a different wedding with a gift they would never forget. Before we dive into what happened next, I want to know where you are watching from. Drop your location in the comments below. If this story already has you feeling something, hit that like button. Subscribe, because what comes next is going to show you exactly how patience and the right timing can deliver justice better than any angry confrontation ever could. Trust me, you will want to see how this ends. Let me take you back to the beginning, back when I actually believed I was the luckiest guy alive. My name is Caleb. I am 30 years old and I work as an architect here in Portland, Oregon. 3 years ago I met Jessica at a corporate event. She was an event planner and I had designed the venue for one of her clients. She walked up to me after the presentation with this confident smile and said my design made her job 10 times easier. We grabbed coffee the next week. Then dinner. Then suddenly we were inseparable. Jessica was 28, ambitious, beautiful, and she had this way of making you feel like you were the only person in the room. We moved in together after a year. I proposed after 2. She said yes before I even finished the question. Everything felt perfect. We bought a small house in the suburbs and I spent months renovating it exactly the way she wanted. White marble countertops, a walk-in closet bigger than my first apartment, a backyard perfect for the kids we planned to have in a year or so. I thought I was building our dream life. Then there was Lauren, Jessica's best friend since college. Lauren was sweet, genuine, the kind of person who remembered your birthday and always showed up when you needed her. She had been dating Marcus for about 2 years. Marcus worked in finance, made good money, and seemed like a solid guy. The 4 of us would grab dinner every week. We would go to Blazers games. Me and Marcus even went fishing a few times. I thought of him like a brother. I trusted him completely. Looking back now, that trust was the biggest mistake I ever made. The week before the wedding, things started to feel off. It was subtle at first. Jessica became distant. She was always on her phone, always busy with last-minute wedding details. I understood. Planning a wedding is stressful. I gave her space. On Monday, 6 days before the ceremony, she canceled our dinner date. She said she had to meet with the florist. I believed her. On Wednesday, 4 days out, she came home at 2 in the morning, smelling like wine and cigarettes. She never smoked. When I asked if she was okay, she snapped at me. "Can you not be so clingy right now?" She said it like I was being unreasonable for caring. Friday arrived. 2 days before we were supposed to become husband and wife. That night was my bachelor party. We kept it simple. Dinner, a few drinks, and I was home by 11. No strippers, no wild night out. I wanted to be present for the biggest day of my life. Jessica had her bachelorette party the same night. She told me she was going to a resort spa with her bridesmaids for massages and champagne. She even sent me a selfie around 10 that night. Her and 4 other girls smiling with face masks on. It looked innocent, but when I looked closer, I noticed something. Lauren was not in the photo. Lauren, her best friend, her maid of honor, was missing from her own best friend's bachelorette party. I brushed it off. Maybe she left early. Maybe she was taking the photo. I did not let myself think anything darker. I should have. Saturday morning came fast, the day I had been imagining for a year. I woke up in the presidential suite at Crystal Heights Hotel. It was a beautiful room, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Portland, a king bed that felt like sleeping on a cloud. I was supposed to be getting ready with my groomsmen, but I had a surprise for Jessica, my grandmother's bracelet. She had passed away 2 years earlier, and before she died, she made me promise to give it to my bride on our wedding day. It was delicate silver with tiny sapphires that caught the light. I wanted to bring it to Jessica myself. I wanted to see her face light up. Jessica was supposed to be in the bridal suite on the 3rd floor, room 318. I grabbed the bracelet, put it in a small velvet box, and headed downstairs. When I got to the 3rd floor, I walked down the hallway, rehearsing what I would say. Something romantic. Something she would remember forever. Then I heard it. Laughter. Her laughter. But it was not coming from room 318. It was coming from room 312. I stopped walking. My stomach dropped. Room 312 was the room Marcus had booked. He was one of my groomsmen, and he had asked if he could store his backup suit in there since his room was smaller. I had even given him my key card earlier that week so he could access it. I stood outside that door, and every instinct in my body told me to walk away. Do not open it. Do not look. Just go back upstairs and pretend you heard nothing. But I could not. My hand reached for the key card in my pocket. I slid it through the reader. The light turned green. I pushed the door open slowly, quietly, and there they were. Jessica and Marcus were on the couch. Her dress was half off. His shirt was on the floor. They had not seen me yet. I stood there, frozen, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to process what I was seeing. Then I heard her voice. "We should stop," she said between kisses. "Just 5 more hours, and you will be stuck with Lauren for the whole reception." Marcus laughed. "And you will be Mrs. Caleb," he said. "Poor guy has no idea what he is getting." They both laughed, like it was funny, like I was a joke. The velvet box slipped from my hand and hit the floor. The sound echoed. They both turned. Jessica's eyes went wide, but not with guilt, with annoyance, like I had interrupted something important. Marcus stood up calmly, pulled his shirt on, and looked at me like I was the one in the wrong place. Neither of them said anything for what felt like an eternity. I just stood there. No yelling, no tears, just numb, completely numb. Jessica finally spoke. "Caleb, relax. It was just physical." Her voice was steady, like she had rehearsed this. "We are still getting married," she said. "Marcus and I just needed to release some tension. You do not understand the pressure of planning a wedding." I stared at her. This woman I thought I knew. This woman I was supposed to marry in 6 hours. And I did not recognize her. She kept talking. "I still love you. This does not mean anything. He is just helping me calm down before the big day. You are overreacting." Then Marcus chimed in. "Look, man, no hard feelings." She came to me. "You and Lauren do not need to know about this. Just go get ready. Everything stays on schedule." He said it like he was doing me a favor, like he was being reasonable. I looked at him, this man I had trusted, this man I had called my friend, and I realized he felt no shame, none at all. I only asked one question. How long? Jessica did not answer at first. She looked at Marcus, then back at me. Her face changed. The confidence cracked just a little. 6 months, she finally said. I felt my knees go weak. 6 months. Since right after our engagement party. She told me they had always felt something for each other, but Marcus chose Lauren because she was stable, safe. After our engagement party, Jessica and Marcus got drunk together. One thing led to another, and it never stopped. All those nights she said she was meeting Lauren, she was with him. All those business trips she took for work, he was there too, even in our house, the house I renovated for her. The house I thought was ours. When I was out of town for work, he had been there, in our bed. Marcus leaned back against the wall, arms crossed, looking almost bored. Lauren is nice, he said, but Jessica and I have chemistry. We were planning to end it after your wedding. Too complicated to break up with Lauren now. Her family loves me. He said it so casually, like he was talking about a gym membership he forgot to cancel. I did not yell. I did not cry. I did not beg. I just looked at both of them and said 3 words. The wedding is off. Jessica's face went pale. Caleb, no. The guests are already here. The venue is paid for. My family will ask questions. What will we tell people? I did not answer her. I just turned to leave. Marcus stepped forward. Dude, be reasonable. Just get through today. We can figure everything out later. I ignored him. I walked out of that room and the door clicked shut behind me. In the hallway, I ran into Lauren. She was carrying her bridesmaid dress, smiling, glowing with excitement. Caleb, she said. What are you doing down here? Jessica has been looking everywhere for you. I looked at this kind, trusting woman who had no idea what was happening 10 feet away. I made a decision. Lauren, I said quietly. Jessica is in room 312. You should go in. I left the door open. I did not wait to see her reaction. I just walked away. Behind me, I heard the door open. I heard Lauren gasp. Then I heard her scream. I kept walking. I got back to my suite, grabbed my phone, and called the wedding planner. I told her the wedding was off. Bride was unfaithful, I said. Cancel everything. Refund what you can. She tried to ask questions, but I hung up. I called the MC and told him to inform the guests that the ceremony was canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. I did not want a scene. I did not want drama. I just wanted it over. 15 minutes later, chaos erupted on the 3rd floor. I could hear it from my room. Lauren was screaming. Jessica was crying. Bridesmaids were running through the halls trying to figure out what happened. Groomsmen were confused. Parents were panicking. I packed my bag, checked out of the hotel through a side exit, and drove 2 hours south to my parents' house in Eugene. I turned off my phone and did not turn it back on for 3 days. When I finally powered my phone back on, I had over 200 messages. Most were from Jessica. I am so sorry. Please call me. I made a mistake. We can fix this. I love you. Voicemails of her crying, begging, explaining. I deleted every single one without listening to the end. I blocked her number. I blocked her on every social media platform. I hired a lawyer to handle splitting our assets. We sold the house. I took my half and moved into a small apartment downtown. I did not want anything that reminded me of her. For the first 2 months, I was a wreck. I could not sleep. I could not eat. I threw myself into work designing buildings and homes for other people, while my own life felt like rubble. Friends reached out. They wanted to check on me. They wanted to tell me what they had heard. Apparently, Lauren had dumped Marcus immediately. She moved out of their apartment the same day. Good for her. She deserved better.